Morning, boys and girls. So, I'll be taking uterus stimulants and relaxants today. Well, then, before going to the pharmacological actions, pharmacokinetics of these relaxants and stimulants, let us know about uterus. So, what are the functions of uterus? Primarily, it is concerned with the embedding of the fertilized ovum and growth of the fetus. So, as you can see in the picture, so uterus is the birthplace where the zygote forms or the ovum gets embedded and growth of the fetus takes place. So where it is located. So uterus along with fallopian tubes is located in the pelvic cavity in between urinary bladder and rectum. So what are the measurements of uterus? So basically it measures in length by 7.5 centimeters and breadth 5 centimeters and has got a thickness of 2.5 centimeters. And uterus weighs nearly 30 to 40 grams. So what are the presenting parts of uterus? So uterus has got four parts as you can see in the picture. So this is called as fundus, this one is called as body, and then isthmus, which continues into as cervix and vagina. So it has got four parts. So body, fundus, body, isthmus, and cervix. So here you can see in this picture in the cut section, this is called as fundus, this is called as body, and then cervix, which continues as vagina. So drugs affecting uterine contract, so otherwise called as relaxants as well as stimulants and relaxants. So oxytocin. So drugs that stimulate uterine smooth muscles during pregnancy and produce contractions that promotes rapid labor are called as oxytocins or stimulants. And then but that which relaxes. The drugs which relax uterine smooth muscles are called as tocolytics or uterine relaxants. Stimulants. So they are oxytocin plus amino oxytocin, ergometrin, methyl ergometrin, and then prostaglandins. And then we have tocolytics, it is relaxants as adrenergic agonists, calcium blockers, magnesium sulfate, oxytocin antagonist, and then miscellaneous drugs. So oxytocin available as syntocinon in the market. But this is basically a posterior pituitary hormone. So oxytocin secretion occurs by sensory stimulation from cervix, vagina, and from suckling head breast. So this oxytocin synthesis takes place in the brain. So it is basically a posterior pituitary hormone. Oxytocin secretion occurs by sensory stimulation from cervix, vagina, and from suckling at breast. So oxytocin, the synthesis takes place in the hypothalamus. So oxytocin acts in the uterus, thereby causing uterine contractions, and acts in the myoepithelial cells of the mammary glands and causes milk ejection. What are the pharmacological actions of oxytocin? On the uterus, so in small doses, it stimulates both the frequency and force of uterine contractility, particularly on the fundal segment of the uterus. So these contractions resemble normal physiological contractions of uterus. So in small doses, it has both stimulates both the frequency as well as force of uterine contractility, particularly on the fundal segment of the uterus. These contractions resemble as normal physiological contractions of uterus. So contractions followed by relaxation. It basically acts through GPCR, which we'll be seeing in next slide. So in large doses causes sustained contractions. So whenever you increase the dose, has got sustained contractions. So on an immature uterus, oxytocin is resistant to it. So mature uterus are all resistant to oxytocin. So contract uterine smooth muscles only at term. So oxytocin has action on the smooth pulse of uterus only at term. So sensitivity increases to eightfold in last 9 weeks and 30 times in early labor. So the sensitivity of oxytocin increases to eightfolds in the last 9 weeks and 30 times in the early labor. Clinically, oxytocin is given only when uterine cervix is soft and dilated. So oxytocin has to be given only when the uterine cervix is soft and is dilated. So oxytocin stimulates myoepithelial cells surrounding mammary alveoli to produce milk. So without oxytocin-induced contraction, lactation cannot happen. Oxytocin on the cardiovascular system causes hypotension, and on the renal, the kidneys has got antidiuretic hormone-like action. How does it act? So mechanism of action. So basically, it acts through G-protein-coupled receptors. So there is activation of phospholipase 3, increased in IP3 inositol triphosphate, thereby causing mobilization of calcium from its stores from the sun. Also activates voltage-sensitive calcium channels, causing an increase in cytoplasmic calcium level that stimulates uterine contraction. Pharmacokinetics. So oxytocin is not absorbed orally, hence to be administered by IV, IM, or through nasal route on a rare occasion. Not bound to plasma proteins and has got a plasma half-life of 2 to 5 minutes. So very short plasma half-life. Metabolized in the liver as well as in the kidney. Adverse effects. So injudicious use of oxytocin without using any. So whenever you use oxytocin injudiciously, so it can lead to fetal as well as maternal soft injury. It can lead to fetal distress. Sometimes there is uterine rupture, and then there may be fetal asphyxia as well as death. What are the adverse effects of oxytocin? Oxytocin, when given by IV infusion, may occasionally cause water retention, leading to water intoxication. This is one of the antidiuretic hormone-like action of oxytocin. Whenever oxytocin is given by IV infusion, may cause a condition called as water intoxication, when it presents as nausea, vomitings, anorexia. Sometimes the patient may have weight gain and lethargy. Bolus injection can produce hypotension, so used as infusion at a controlled range. Contraindications not to be given in hypersensitive patient, to be avoided in prematurity cases. If at all there is any abnormal fetal position, if at all there is evidence of fetal distress, and if there is cephalopelvic disproportionation. Precautions to be taken up to be avoided in multiple pregnancies and if there is previous cesarean section. What are the clinical use of oxytocin? Basically, it is used to induce and augment labor in cases like premature rupture of membranes, as in case of ICU inhalation, but all there is placental insufficiency, and then toxemia, post-maturity, as well as diabetes mellitus patient. So before you carry out induction and labor in these conditions, you need to look out for fetal lung maturity, CPD, monitor fetal heart rate, look out for fetal as well as maternal and uterine scar. Induction and augmentation. The drug of choice is oxytocin. So to be given by IV infusion and the dilution to be carried to be the drug oxytocin is diluted in 500 ml NS or in normal glucose with 5 international units and has to be transfused over 0.2 to 2 ml per minute depending on response. So before doing induction and augmentation, as I've told you, you need to look out for the precautions. That is, monitor mother as well as the fetus. If there is overstimulation, then discontinue the drug. So why do you prefer oxytocin? Why not ergometry? So since oxytocin has got very plasma half-life, that is 2 to 5 minutes. So whenever you have desired effect, so the drug can be taken off. And oxytocin allows normal relaxation of uterus. So thereby you have good fetal oxygenation. Oxytocin has no effect on the lower segment. The descent is very much free. And oxytocin has uterine contractions. Oxytocin, uterine contractions are constantly monitored. So if at all you give oxytocin. So why do you prefer oxytocin is it has got short plasma half-life, it allows normal relaxation of uterus, so there is good fetal oxygenation, does not affect lower segment, so the descent is free, and oxytocin has it can our uterine contractions are constantly monitored when we use oxytocin. Apart from this, it is also used in other cases like in uterine inertia and in postpartum hemorrhage. So how do we treat this condition? Postpartum hemorrhage by 5 interventional units, oxytocin, IMR, or IV infusion. So other drugs apart from oxytocin which can be used for treating these conditions are ergometrin as well as misoprostol. Oxytocin is also used in breast engorgement as a nasal spray before suckling, and then the oxytocin challenge test to assess placental insufficiency. Oxytocin. It's nothing but a buccal formulation of oxytocin. The US are same as oxytocin. It is less consistent in action when compared to oxytocin. Ergometrin and methyl ergometrin. So it is basically an amine ergot alkaloid derivative. They increase force, frequency as well as duration of uterine contractions. Moderate increase in dose as basal tone increased. Gravid uterus is more sensitive, especially at term. So both these drugs has got action on gravid uterus, which is more sensitive, especially at term. Lower segments also contracts. Methyl ergometrin being more potent on uterus and less potent or less has got less action on CVS, CNS, GIT, etc. Pharmacokinetics absorbed orally from GIT in tablet formulations, usually given by IM, partly metabolized in liver and eliminated mainly in urine. Adverse effects. Methyl ergometrin is less toxic and has got a couple of adverse effects like nausea, vomiting, a rise in blood pressure, and decreases milk secretion. So these drugs are supposed to be avoided in cases of peripheral vascular disease and in hypertensive patients, in a case of toxemia, and in sepsis, which leads to gangrene, to be avoided in liver and as well as kidney disease. It is contraindicated in pregnancy as well as early stages of labor. What are the uses of ergometrin with ergometrin? So it is used basically in treatment of PPH, postpartum hemorrhage, that is after delivery of anterior shoulder. So how do you treat such a condition? So 0.2 to 0.3 mg IM is to be given. If the condition still persists, you can increase the dose to 0.5 mg IV. So to prevent uterine atony, as in a case of cesarean, or if at all, the delivery is carried out by instruments. Mainly used to promote involution in a multipara lady or multiple pregnancy lady. The dosage to be given is 0.25 mg thrice daily for 7 days. Apart from this, it's also used in the diagnosis of variant angina during coronary angiogram. Prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are otherwise called as local hormones that are basically found in ovary myometrium as well as in menstrual fluids. What are the pharmacological actions of prostaglandins? So on the myometrium, During the last 2 trimesters of pregnancy, PGE2 or PGF2 alpha causes strong uterine contractions and can induce delivery of the fetus. On the cervix, they primarily cause ripening of cervix at doses that does not affect uterine motility. So at obstetric doses, they cause ripening of cervix, but has got no effect on the uterine motility. Cause softening of cervix late in the first trimester of pregnancy and can aid in dilatation of curettage, a type of uh, type of thing which where the abortion is carried out, which we'll deal in next slide. Has got stimulatory action on smooth muscle of the alimentary tract. It increases. So there is transient pyrexia. So there is transient increase in body temperature. What are the major drugs? So the major drugs are PGE2, PGF2 alpha, and 15-methyl PGF2 alpha. Therapeutic are, as I've told you, major drugs are PGE2, PG2 alpha, and 15-methyl PGF2 alpha. So used for the performance of mid-trimester abortions. Potential use as cervical ripening agents to facilitate normal or induced labor. As I've told you in previous slide, they soften the cervix prior to performance of first trimester abortions by method of dilatation as well as evacuation or dilatation and curettage called as D&C. What are the available preparations? So PGE2, otherwise called as dinoprostrone, is mainly used in induction of labor and mid-trimester abortions. So available formulations are as vaginal gel 1 or 2 mg in 2.5 ml, or as vaginal tablet available as vaginal tablets, that is 3 mg, as extra amniotic solution 10 mg per ml in 0.5 ml ampules, as intravenous solution 1 mg per ml in 0.75 ampule, or 10 mg per ml in 0.5 ml ampule, or as oral tablets, that is 0.5 mg tablet, or as cervical gel 0.5 mg in 2.5 ml pre-filled syringe. Gemiprost available as 1 mg vaginal pessary, PGF2 alpha as intraamniotic injection, that is 5 mg per ml in 4 ml ampules, and 15-methyl PGF2 alpha as carboprost 0.25 mg in 1 ml ampule. So what are the differences between oxytocin as well as prostaglandins? Character oxytocin, prostaglandins. So on contraction, so oxytocin only acts term, whereas prostaglandins contraction throughout the pregnancy. On the cervix does not soften the cervix, whereas prostaglandins soften the cervix and aids in abortions. Duration of action, oxytocin has got very short duration of action, whereas prostaglandins have longer duration of action, and uses mainly used to induce and augment labor and helpful in postpartum hemorrhage. Prostaglandins, they induce abortion in second trimester pregnancy, and they are used as vaginal suppository for induction of labor. Difference between oxytocin and ergometry. So contractions resemble normal physiological contractions. On the other hand, ergometric, they resemble as tetanic contraction, which does not resemble normal physiological contractions. Uses mainly used to induce and augment labor. Apart from this, they are also used in treatment of postpartum hemorrhage, whereas ergometric is only used in postpartum hemorrhage. Onset and duration of action. Oxytocin has got rapid onset of action and has got shorter duration of action, whereas ergometin has got moderate onset of action and long duration of action. Uterine relaxants, otherwise called as procalytics. So these are the available uterine relaxants, so which acts on the uterus and relax the uterus. They are adrenergic agonists, beta-2 agonists, calcium channel blockers, magnesium sulfate, etosiban, and others. Procalytic drugs are mainly used to arrest premature labor. Apart from this, they also delivery They delay delivery for 48 hours. But this time can be used to administer glucocorticoids like betamethasone to mother for maturation of fetal. What is the mechanism of action of these drugs? The rotatory mechanism of action. They basically bind to beta adrenergic receptors, activate adenyl cyclase, increase the levels of cyclic AMP, reducing intercellular calcium levels. Side effects mainly they cause anxiety, restlessness, as well as headache. Apart from this, they also cause pulmonary edema, flushing, sweating, tachycardia whenever we give high doses. Apart from this, they also cause hypotension as well as hyperglycemia. Etoposide, as I've told you, it is an oxytocin receptor antagonist used as a tocolytic in premature labor to be given as IV infusion for 48 hours. Calcium channel blockers. They mainly cause relaxation of the myometrium. They markedly inhibit the amputor's spontaneous oxytocin-induced contractions. So these drugs, calcium channel blockers, available as nifedipine in the market, they basically cause relaxation of myometrium. They markedly inhibit the amplitude of spontaneous as well spontaneous and oxytocin-induced contractions. So adverse effects, they cause couple of adverse effects, and they are headache, dizziness. Sometimes they cause flushing, and their main adverse effect being hypotension, ankle edema, as well as tachycardia. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.